welcome everyone. We all know each other. First of all, we need to approve the agenda.
First?
You move to approve.
I second.
Perfect.
The agenda has been approved. On February 13th, 2025, approval of the minutes. Does that mean, do we approve those minutes?
I so move.
Second, Cook, please.
Okay, all that's, okay, now, introductions. Everybody, okay.
We have,
Here we are, right here.
Hey, I'm Victoria. I'm just, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sick.
Jesus Rodriguez, Litter Control Supervisor.
we'll come back to Chris. Ford, you want to go?
Ford, Buffalo, District
Thank you.
9.
Brenda.
Brenda, you're next, and then introduce yourself.
Thank you for coming and all the work you've done.
Jessica, introduce yourself.
Sorry, Jessica Wrights, District 2.
Jean Crew, District 11.
Jean Zepfel, District 7.
Pam Floyd, District 3.
Sally McCall, Solid Waste and Recycling.
Tammy Jones, Business Manager.
Yes?
Well, I'm John Matthews. I'm a resident of the county.
Good for
And
you.
you,
Sit in.
you gotta introduce yourself.
And you.
I'm Chris Campbell, District 1. Thank you all for coming. We'll move into subcommittee updates. Let me turn it, this is where I turn it over to you, Jean.
I think do we have written updates? I sent you the finance update. Is that included?
It should be in all of this.
I'll find what I sent you while the other teams are updating, okay? Okay, just want to do a quick,
Yeah, absolutely.
what's happening?
We've just been working on upcoming events that we'd like to, be a part of, and then updating marketing materials and working on future budget.
And Brenda, I think your legislation, right?
Nothing to report.
Okay, finance. I can't find it because I'm not online, but I'll tell you what we've been up to. The production of all these documents happened over the last couple of weeks. These are purchase requests for FY25 funding and budget requests for FY26 funding. That'll be the focus of the effort today. Other things that I've been working on, I think I sent an email to everybody giving them access to Canva, which is a marketing software tool that KAB in National KAB gave us access to, which is awesome, and I know Public Works uses it as well, very helpful. I've been honing the SharePoint structure so that it's pretty close to what makes sense for a lot of people. It might change going forward. Other than that, mostly working on budget and a little bit of planning for next year. That's it.
Beautification Committee, we've been very busy. We met and talked about the projects for 26 and the projects for 25.
Finalizing 25.
Finalizing 25. And I want everyone to know, number one, it's not really hard to do. You got to just learn that SharePoint. And once you get that under your belt, next year's going to really be good. So that concludes beautification. Finance purchase request.
Yeah, before we do that, I'd like to, I sent an email to everyone, including Victoria and Sally, suggesting that we move $18,000 from the administrative line. We didn't want it administrative. We don't want to spend $18,000 on administrative. We wanted to have it spent in education and outreach. So I think we need to agree to do that. So we have to move to do it, et cetera. The documentation online today and actually in your package shows it already moved, but it has to be approved still to make it happen. So do I make the motion because I'm the one who moved it? So somebody else make the motion? Okay, move it. Second?
Second.
Okay. So the documentation is in line, which puts a bucket of money aside for education and outreach to spend. What you're going to see now is how Jessica conceptualizes spending FY '25 dollars. So don't think about next year. Think about what we have to spend before June 30th. Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
So total amount in the budget is $18,000. What we're going to do is go through, so I had to get that done first, okay?
Yes.
So now I'd like to ask you to turn to this page. It says FY '25 approved projects, purchase requests. Keep going, it's in about 7 or 8 pages.
Okay.
That one right there. Okay, on the back side is the first item that we need to approve for funding and for expenditures in FY '25. So Chris, in one sentence, so it's, you can see at the top, beautification committee. Chris, just give 2 or 3 sentences, no more than that, description of what you're going to spend the money on.
Well, we're gonna do some additions to Gardens Corner. We're gonna put a fence up where they're driving over the road and apply some money on that. And then we're gonna do some spotted plantings out there.
Scattered.
Okay, scattered plantings out there.
Okay, and that's this first one, right? In your left hand there. Okay,
Yep, this one, right there.
yep, that one right there. Okay, questions, comments? We need people, if anybody has questions or comments, now's the time.
Last meeting, right?
We did?
Yeah.
We did, and we allocated funding to it, and they're staying within that funding.
Correct.
And remember, this is the right to buy. This is not the process of actually buying, which the county will control over 5,000. The county will control all of it, actually.
Of course.
We'll just say, please buy X. Okay?
Yep.
Sorry.
You may want to correct, it's Gardens Corner, not Gardeners,
Okay,
in case it comes back to bite us in the butt.
okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we need a
I
motion.
move that we spend the $5,000 at Gardens Corner to
Okay.
do this.
Sorry.
Everybody agree? Do we have to do a, yep, everybody in?
Yep.
Okay, just quick raise hands?
Say aye.
Okay, yep, aye is fine. Okay, Chris, next one.
Jessica? Oh,
No, the next page, the right page.
That page,
7,500.
Yep,
7,500. Wait a minute, Chris.
go back one more page.
Go back a couple more.
I've seen some big ones.
Yeah, this is all new for all of us.
There you go, that one. The 7,500.
We're gonna, basically, we're gonna go around to different spots all over the county and try to, and put in wildflowers and bulbs, and we're gonna put aside $2,500 for labor and maintenance of those areas. And we agreed on that together in our meeting.
For a total of 7,500.
Who's installing these?
That's yet to be, I don't know.
So that'll be part of this cost.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we've got the greenery listed as being the vendor, that's where we're buying the materials.
Most likely it will be, depends on the bidding process.
So I move that we spend $7,500 for this particular project for the beautification. All in
Aye.
favor?
Okay, Chris, you're up again?
Turn the page.
Okay, we're gonna spend out of the 25 budget, $2,500 on native plants. Again, certain areas around the county, okay? Anywhere, York, could be in anywhere.
My backyard.
Yeah.
No.
Move on.
It's in the county.
And we're gonna do again
Public.
wildflowers and bulbs, and then we're gonna have nice fresh mulch on everything, make it look pretty.
Nice.
Okay.
I move that we spend $5,500 to do this project.
Second?
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay. The next one is
Water buggy.
Jessica?
Yep, 2250 for the use, I think it's 2 or 3 events. The water buggy, it's owned by the Rotary at Hilton Head, but we would be sponsoring it. It's basically just a trailer that has fresh water, filtered water, to refill water bottles instead of the need for, the plastic water bottles.
There's a picture on it on the next page, if you guys want to turn the page.
And I can clarify and answer questions.
Please,
Since I'm
yeah.
on the Low Country Environmental, we have a satellite of Hilton Head Island Rotary, and it's a group of about 15 of us. About half of us represent environmental nonprofits and groups, and so we work on projects that benefit all, and as opposed to any one nonprofit. And so we've done a number of projects, and I actually presented this idea because it's part of that ongoing effort to reduce single-use plastic bottles. And so our intent here is to encourage this at larger events. If you've been to a concert, you might see this rolled up at one of the larger concerts. But there's a number of events on Hilton Head Island, especially during the summer months. People are selling water. And so we think that it's a much better idea to provide the water. If you want to sell a container, that's fine. So it's stainless steel, it's being shipped from Canada. It should be here by May. It has a built-in filtration system. I think we have a solar panel up top which provides continuous charging. It can use basically any hose because it has its own filtration. The company will be arriving with it to basically school us on how to care for it. And then we are in a memorandum of understanding with Rotary of Hilton Head Island, the larger group, to have a calendar of people who will be there stationed to assist, some drivers to deliver. We have not discussed delivering off of the island, but this is simply a tow. So should it be used at an event that you all choose, we can arrange to figure out. We'll have a trailer hitch lock for it, and we'll have both written and we'll go over instructions on how it works. It's pretty cool, and of course it's a moving billboard, so not only at your event do you get advertising and people asking you questions about what is Keep Beaufort County Beautiful, which I can answer, and lots of people will be able to answer, but that'll be at all the events that this is used at. So we expect a lot of use. Certainly at our water festival, certainly at Mitchellville in the middle of the summer, things like that. So
Air show.
Air
Will we be
show.
able to
Yeah.
obtain an invoice for this prior to the deadline to send the funds this year?
We can probably do that. Yeah, I can't imagine that we can't do that.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me, our meeting, how soon do you have it? Do you need it?
June 30th is
Okay.
when the.
Our next meeting, I can reach out to the president of LEC and we'll figure that out. Our next meeting is not till the end of April, but we can probably put that in place. So
Prior
the
to
invoice.
June 30th would be
Yep.
preferable.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
They typically give you a 2-week grace period,
Oh,
but they do like for.
Yeah,
anything
I'm sure we
But,
can pay
yeah,
that.
well before then, I would think. Okay.
Great idea, and we're happy to be with you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is the billboard digital or is it,
No.
No, it'll be screened on. We'll get a local.
do people tie in this with either recycle your plastic bottle signs around there or use reusable bottles? Or, I'm looking at this going, okay, it's the water system, but it's not really saying probably as much as it could. And you got a piece of real estate here, it probably could really push the idea.
Right, I mean, there'll be signage on it,
Okay.
obviously. We will provide containers, but that's really up to the particular, sponsor.
Mhm.
So signage can be created to be specific to the event.
Yeah, okay.
So in the meantime, we need to come up with a design for our sign.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, and there's different levels of, or size of sign. We have major donors in the 20,000 range. We have a couple of those, and then we have this group of 2,000.
And this is through Rotary? Like you said, a donor, they go into Rotary?
Rotary of Hilton Head Island, it's actually all being done through the nonprofit. And the Low Country Environmental Division of that is actually the satellite. So we
Okay.
work as, obviously, we're members of the Rotary, so yeah. So this is
Okay.
one of our projects.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yep.
So the $2,000 is to sponsor.
Yep.
$250 is extra dollars to buy a sign, do whatever else we need to do.
Yep.
we'll spend it if we have to, or if we need to,
We'll
but won't
invoice
spend
you
it if we
for
don't.
it, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
obviously.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think, you were talking about there will be different levels of things. Looking at this photograph here, we will have a portion of this space? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's got two
Based on our
sides.
2000.
It's got a back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably do a mock-up of it and make sure that everybody's happy and then get that done. It's, it's first time through with this. It's a really kind of novel project for our area. There are water buggies around, but we'll be the first to have this particular basically in the, I think the southeast. I don't know that there's anybody doing this like this. So it's kind of a nice way. And we're hoping that the town will match it with another buggy and so on and so forth. So,
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
I move that we spend the $2,250 to deal with this water buggy.
Second.
In favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay. Jessica's got the floor now for several minutes. There is a brief summary of all the details that I think it's way too much detail for now,
Yeah.
which is really Jessica's thinking and sourcing and all that kind of stuff. You're going to need that when you actually try to get the county to write a check.
Yeah.
But for today, we're really just looking at about how much money and about what, well, specifically how much money and then what do you want to do with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So kids' activity books, 500 of them. This is just for, events, school events, things like that. Total cost of $336.82.
Okay. Do we have to vote each one of these?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
So questions, go ahead.
Are we gonna use these?
Kids' activity books, different trade shows, events, school events, anything like that.
Okay, do we have KBCD,
Logos and everything on it.
logos on it?
They'll all be custom. They'll be they're tailored towards recycling. So they're recycling coloring pages and different activities.
With our logo or something, so that.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be right on the
Absolutely.
front. Yeah, our
Absolutely.
logo will be on all of this. This is all custom branded stuff,
Yep.
with the exception of the crowns. The crowns are just cardboard boxes with 4 crowns in the next page, sorry.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
page.
I move that we spend the $336.82 for the kids' activity books.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna be up to 8 or 9, and I get some of my kids.
So,
Yeah.
So, fine,
Yeah.
Interesting.
We've got kids coloring pages and crayons next. 1,000 coloring pages, just because they typically do grab a couple if they're different. And then 500 packs of crayons. Again, they're in cardboard sleeves, so recycling friendly. Total of $485.76.
I move we purchase the kids' coloring pages and crayons for $485.76.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Educational flyers, 1,000 of them, $413.76. These are going to be various educational flyers, whether it be the how-to do's and don'ts of recycling, whatever it looks like, just 1,000 color copies of that for events and things like that. Total of $413.76.
I move that we spend $413.76 for these educational flyers.
Second.
Aye.
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 The next is the reusable straws with the pouch, 250 of them for a total cost of $463.18.
Question with that, does that have our logo on it?
It would have our
Okay.
logo on it. It has it on the pouch.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
all right.
I have a question. Somewhere we have got reusable straws already.
Yep.
I think, had they handed all those out, but those were already handed out. Yeah, they go real quickly because they're real popular.
In
I
the,
knew we had some at one point, because I've got one. Okay.
in the primary spreadsheet on SharePoint, I have an inventory of what we actually have.
Got it.
And
Yep.
this is, I don't remember who went and actually conducted the inventory, but they were not on it.
Yeah,
No, I thought you did.
Well, that's because we don't have.
there's no
that.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
We'll have an inventory management conversation at some future point, but
Yeah.
not today.
Okay. I move that we spend $463.18 for reusable straws that has the pouch has our logo.
Second.
Aye.
The laminated do's and don'ts that sheet that everyone knows about 1,000 of those for a total cost of $474.20.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you printing those on cardstock?
And then laminated.
And how are they,
I think
like
they're
this?
14 point, they're 4x6. So just think of a 4x6 picture
Where's,
about
do you
this.
have a mock-up of that?
I do. Yep, I'll add all of it to SharePoint. There's pictures of all of these things. Yep.
Yeah, and I think the execution is separate from the deciding we're going to do something.
Right.
And then I'm sure Jessica will engage people to say,
Yeah.
what are your opinions, colors,
That's right.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
But-
that's exactly right.
Okay.
So that was a total of $474.20.
Okay, I move that we spend $474.20 for the laminated do's and don'ts.
Second.
Aye.
Same concept. These are magnets, fridge magnets. It's got the protective coating on them, but 500 of them, $337.88.
Any questions? Okay, I move that we spend $337.88 for the magnets.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, we're still on the do's and don'ts. Obviously, this is very important. Cardstock, these are just handouts that we can give with our flyers, the do's and don'ts. 1,000 of them, total of $338.38.
Okay, I move that we spend $338.38 for the cardstock do's and don'ts.
Second.
Okay.
Aye.
A prize wheel. I don't know if all of you are familiar with them. They're colorful. This one is a dry erase, so we can change what's in each section, which is really cool. Total of $267.11 would be used at events. Really, it's just to draw people in. We want to educate people, so we want to bring them to our booth. We want to bring them to our table. So it's a total of $267.11.
I move that we spend $267.11 for the prize wheel.
Second.
Aye.
Short and long sleeve shirts, there was a 48 minimum here for a total of $1205.86. These were Keep Beaufort County Beautiful. We can all adjust the design and everything later, but that was the estimated cost.
Yeah, I think that'll be very helpful at these events
Mhm.
when we need to look like the brand. And
Yep.
we don't have the ability to do that right now.
Yep, absolutely.
I move that we spend $1,205.86 for the long short sleeve tees.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Most of you have water bottles on the table. The next is waterproof water bottle stickers, various designs. Some for kids, some for adults, some that are just Keep Beaufort County Beautiful. Quantity of 1,600 for a total of $499.44.
Got a question.
Yeah.
When you say water bottle sticker,
Yep, just like these.
so it doesn't have to go on a water bottle?
No,
Okay.
they're just, you can run your water bottle through the dishwasher or whatever.
Logo stickers,
Yep,
basically.
that's right. Yep. Total of $499.44.
I move that we spend $499.44 for the waterproof water bottle stickers.
Second.
We're not going to do pennies next year, by the way.
Sorry,
Aye.
I
That's all
had
right.
all the quotes, it was exact, that's funny.
That's good, all right.
The next, folding table and a 4-pack of folding chairs, total estimated cost of $389.30. That was a 6-foot table and a 4-pack of folding chairs.
I think we agreed we didn't have access to that, right? I don't know what we're doing on Saturday, but,
Staples.
I'm borrowing there.
yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
But I mean,
okay.
Sam's is
It wouldn't hurt,
Okay.
and two are good.
So these are all commercial, so
It's a little heavier.
they're heavier duty.
Yeah.
They last longer.
I think a marketing, and education and outreach conversation about the details, like
Yeah.
you'll provide
Absolutely.
pictures and we'll have the
Yep.
conversation.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
And designs and stuff like that too.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
this is, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I move that we spend $389.30 on the folding tables and four folding chairs.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
The table cover, that's the stretch table cover. It
I'm
goes
super
over.
excited about that.
Yeah.
I've been wanting that for several years.
So total cost of $167.14. It has our logo and everything on it. It's for a 6-foot table.
Yep. I move that we spend $167.14 for the table covers.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Sorry, you guys are almost done with me. A tent, 10 by 10 tent These are, I'd like to find cheaper, I couldn't. This is a custom tent that has Keep Beaufort County Beautiful on all sides. It is a commercial tent, so it does typically last longer as you're, putting it back in. Comes with a cover, total cost of $1,054.20.
I move that we spend $1,054.20 for the tent, 10 by 10.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Trifold brochures, 500 of them. Again, we can work on design and everything like that. Total cost of $335.83 for 500.
No question, okay. I move that we spend $335.83 for the trifold brochures.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
A foldable wagon for these events, so we can cart all of our stuff to and from. One of those for a total cost of $123.94.
I move we spend $123.94 for a foldable wagon.
Second.
Aye.
Okay, that's it on FY '25 purchase requisitions. All right, so yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you, Jean.
You're welcome. If we spend every nickel, we will still underspend the $50,000. We have to spend the money.
Yes.
If you don't spend the money, you won't get money next year, or you'll get the exact same number next year, and you're gonna see we want a lot more next year. So we have to spend the money.
So what's our remaining?
What if we did reusable water bottles for some of these events and handed them out for the upcoming water buggy?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
How much
I was
money do we
thinking-
have left?
So we have, you always want to be a little bit of security in here, you don't want to over budget. Right now, we've got about 5K left.
Okay,
I was just throwing an idea out.
I'm still going with some of those, and I know those of us who've done here for a while, they've seen them. The portable plastic bins where you throw your bottles and cans. Because if we've got a tent set up somewhere and we're at an event.
They've got a lot of
lots
them.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Because I know the ones I looked at were, it was a double and they were $500 for the setup with like 150 bags.
If you can get people to use it correctly, that's.
How about the,
about-
the conference that we went to?
So we didn't do a PR for purchase requisition for activities which have already completed. So the conferences were approved already. Remember, Victoria had to wrestle the CFO community to the ground.
Right.
So it's already in here. I've got $2,000 in there for your
Okay.
expense report, which we haven't seen yet, I think, right?
I've got it,
Okay, perfect. So
Somewhere.
that's in there.
yeah,
Okay, that you still have 5K, about 5K.
still have five.
Yeah.
How about some of the yard signs that we had that we liked, that, I'm now blanking on the names, but we put them out, don't litter in your backyard or something, the yard signs, but we didn't have enough to go around, you kept having to move them from different locations. I don't know how
What
much.
about billboards too?
We've already got billboard that we've done in there for how long?
We've spent $3,000 in billboards already.
Yeah.
We could spend another $3,000 in billboards.
I would.
So that's what we need to kind
To me,
of,
that's,
Do you know
you're
which
hitting more
yard
people
signs I'm
that
talking
way.
about?
okay.
Do you know how much those cost?
They were $1,500 is what you paid, 2 chunks of $1,500. Are you talking about the billboard?
No,
I'm sorry for
that's
interrupting.
okay. I was,
A couple $100, I want to say about, depends on how many you buy.
I was talking about the yard signs,
Okay,
that
sorry.
don't litter in your backyard or whatever, the
But a
real,
lot of communities, I can't put that up in my community.
Yeah, I can't either.
And
but some of the
Can.
a
commu,
lot of them
Some
won't let
can.
you put them up there either.
but I'm going toward the communities that have litter everywhere. I'm not
So
talking
maybe-
about gated communities,
Yeah.
okay? Because y'all can't put them up, but we
Right.
have quite a few gated non-gated communities over here that they just throw out. And, if you put those signs up, it kind of like, oh, they don't do it
Okay.
as
So
much.
do we have a ballpark cost?
You said a couple $100, $200 or $300 for those?
Yeah, I want to say that's how much we spent on them. We purchased some for our centers for recycling, about $300 to $500, depending on the time you
Yeah,
buy.
just put $500 for it.
Okay, and buy as many as we can afford at $500.
Yeah, and then do
Okay.
and do the billboards again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reusable water bottles is another idea.
Yeah, I mean, we could do, I mean, even if it's 20 of them, we could do for prizes at some of these events that we're doing. Put it on the prize wheel.
For just ordering 20, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
If you're gonna order 100 or 200.
Yeah.
Once you get that bulk pricing, it's,
Yeah, then you're talking about, over $1,000.
That's fine.
Multiple.
So-
Yeah.
so-
Well, we have it.
Let's,
Yeah,
so maybe to get us moving, because we got more than things to do,
so,
$1,000 for water bottles.
sure, yeah.
Keep it restricted, right?
Yep,
500.
500 for
Yard signs.
yard signs, and one more billboard.
4,500 for.
No,
No.
1,500
It
was
was
a billboard.
1,500.
I have
per
two
bill.
invoices, one, each for 1,500.
so 3,000 for billboards.
No, 1,500. Oh,
got it.
3,000,
I want 2 billboards.
3,000.
okay.
Three?
So we've got 1,500 for water bottles then.
Uh,
500 for
No,
your
I don't want to, I don't want to go,
450.
I don't want to go all the way to 5,000.
Okay,
That would
fair
be
enough. So perfect,
450.
1,000 for-
450.
Yeah.
450.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so process-wise,
Okay, so
app,
now
please.
vote and then you can fill out a form.
Thank you, that's
Yeah,
what I was going to ask.
fill it
We'll
out.
we'll fill out, we'll add a
Remember,
form.
you're voting,
Yep,
but I need all the information to be able to purchase all this.
absolutely,
If
absolutely.
you did all this, I will need specifics.
Yep.
Sent to me. so
Yep,
I can-
absolutely, absolutely.
So vote on those items today, we'll get a form
Okay,
you can
so
sign.
let's vote on each of the three. First one, yard signs
How much?
for
500.
$500.
I move to vote.
I second.
Approve 500 for.
Second.
sign.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, okay, second one,
Okay, I move we spend $3,000 for 2 billboards.
okay?
Second.
2 additional billboards.
Aye?
That's
Yes.
because we've
Yeah.
already got 2, let's say.
Okay, 2
we'll go over
additional.
3 and 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes,
That's good.
all in
All
favor.
in favor?
Aye?
And then,
$1,000 for reusable water bottles.
Okay, second?
second.
Okay? Aye? Okay, so we'll fill out the paperwork
Yeah,
before
I
we
got
leave
it.
here
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
okay.
Okay,
Good job.
so that gets us to about $1,000 of fluff, and
Reward.
hopefully
Yeah.
we'll stay that. But again, if we don't spend the money, we're not gonna get more next year. Okay, so if y'all are okay, we're gonna move to FY '26 budget proposals now. Everybody good? Okay, there are fewer of these, they are more general. And I know that some are new, so we'll take a little bit more time to kind of, hopefully people have had a chance to read them, but we'll take a little bit more time on these. I don't want to, hopefully you don't have to read the whole thing here today, but, okay. So Chris, do you want me to do the first one, because I was thinking it? So the busiest street in the county is 278, and right now the sign that says Beaufort County is this big. It's a metal state of South Carolina aluminum sign with the green and reflective lighting, et cetera. So I'm proposing that we spend $10,000 on a sign of whatever size we can afford
Yeah.
for $10,000. I have spent a little bit of time with a couple of sign companies, no commitments, we're not buying, we're just talking. One said, oh my goodness, $20,000, he wanted a Cadillac, we don't want a Cadillac. I'm envisioning it to be the foam that they etch with laser etching? It's permanent, it lasts a really long time. The other two things that one guy suggested we do is, the seal of Beaufort County would be on one corner of it, and the logo of Keep Beaufort County Beautiful will be the other corner of it. And then basically, very simple, welcome to Beaufort County.
Yeah.
So we can design it later.
Highway 278.
Highway 278, it's essentially, the line is right about at the college, Beaufort, USCB. It's between that and the car dealership. And you guys have done, at least you've been thinking about signs. You gotta go through the state, we do work with the county, it's gonna take a long time to get it. But that was the basic idea. And then there's a bunch of words in here that hopefully justify it.
I've got to figure out where you
Oh, I'm sorry, go to, I should have moved, this is the,
I got
this is the section.
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm
there you
on the
go.
section, so
There you go.
is
That's the
it
sign.
That one. Oh.
Yep, it's the
Okay,
very first one.
got it.
Very first one.
What you see?
So, thoughts, comments,
Yeah, it's awesome.
suggestions?
Yeah, that's great.
Sounds good. I move that we spend,
We request budget for.
request budget for $10,000 for a sign on Highway 278.
Second.
Okay,
Is
all in
that
favor?
correct?
Aye.
Excellent.
Is that how you
Okay,
do it?
Chris, you got the next one.
Yeah, you're gonna vote
But-
here, just a reminder, you vote here, and then after this meeting, and your vote has been approved by the board, Jean, you and Mr. Campbell will then send your budget request to Valerie and Pete, correct?
Yes, I have asked Valerie twice and she hasn't answered the question. Can I do it Monday? I know it was due yesterday.
I would do it as soon as possible.
I'll do it as soon as I can.
Valerie, send it to Valerie and Pete.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Chris and I will consolidate it and then get you a simple consolidation
Not
with,
me, Valerie and
pardon me?
Pete. Valerie and Pete.
And Pinky.
Yeah, Pinky Harriet.
Okay, do you know Pinky Harriet? Is that the guy? That's not the guy.
No.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's his wife. Okay. All right. You know who to send it to, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Yes, we'll take care of that as soon as we possibly
Just wanted to
can.
make sure everybody was aware that this is a request and that's going to,
Yep,
CFO and to be voted on by county council.
yep.
Okay.
Good? Okay, Chris, you're up.
Again, the intersection of Gardens Corner is neat. It's on the berm and everything, all the plants are sort of, some are gone, some are dead. We want to redo that. The entrance of Gardens Corner, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but it's because I know it so well, this project. It'll teach us how to do certain things if we do this, you know? I mean, this is kind of a big project. But I've gotten all the money from, all the estimates from the greenery, and they're pretty good at what we're gonna do. And we're really gonna do a makeover on the whole thing. And it'll include these planters that go all the way down the road to Highway 17, towards the Cumbie River. There are 2,700 feet of planters that are just empty.
Yeah.
And we're doing it, it's gonna be simple, really. It's not gonna be fancy. Just crepe myrtles but then okay, so for the planters, we'll just do crepe myrtles. Now, for the berm, we're gonna finish out the planting. The DOT did it at one time, but the sections of it are all gone. It'll look a whole lot nicer. We're gonna put a flagpole in the middle of the circle there that's lighted. And it will have the American flag and the state of South Carolina flag. Okay? And then we're gonna finish the little project over at Fraser Circle that Diane has always been wanting me to do, and I've done my best to try to get it done, but this will get it done. So Fraser Circle is included in that, and that's over on Joe Fraser Road. It's a little roundabout. It really is kind of ugly, okay? And all these things, like Dean says, they're a little complicated. You have to deal with a lot of people to get the okay on it. But it's worth it, and I've already met everybody, and I've already dealt with everybody. So it didn't even be quite that bad for us this quarter.
Yeah.
I just never could get the money. That's why we're asking for the money again. Again, remember, it's going to teach us how to do these things.
Yeah.
We're going through a little tutorial.
Can we skip?
And then we can go from there all over the county.
He's doing them both.
Yeah.
He's gonna do them both together.
So we're looking, as I look at this,
It's the second
So-
one, it's not the first.
So there-
No, it's the
Yeah,
second one.
there's two. There's two.
why don't we do each one separately?
Yeah, so Chris, let's just do the $5,000.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so let's, are you done? Are you done
You
with
see-
$5,000? You're done with describing it?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Okay.
I move that we put in the budget for 2026, $5,000 for the wildflower plantings and all of that that's listed in this request.
Aye. Before we move to the second one, the second to last page in your printout is a list of the budget items, budget request items. Go to the very last piece of paper. It's on,
Now,
I probably tore mine apart already. This is what it looks like. It's a spreadsheet.
looks like this, I'm assuming.
It's really near the back, all the way near the back.
It's in the front. It's in with all the financial.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. It's FY '26.
Yeah, I got it.
One more page. Oh, nope, right here. Oh, yep, keep them this way. There. FY '26 plan. Okay?
In here.
Okay, so Chris did the, okay, so we have a inconsistency.
Yeah, it should be 5.
Yeah, my spreadsheet says 3,500, and Chris, your form says 5,000. I can easily make the change. You want 5?
3,500.
Okay, and the documentation says 5.
Yeah, let's don't change this.
So I'll make that documentation.
Okay.
Change.
He's changing it to,
Changing it to 5,000?
Yes, on the spreadsheet. The paperwork, the budget request itself is already 5,000. Okay, so I will make that change. Okay, Chris,
Okay,
now to the
so
Gardens Corner.
Now, the Gardens Corner project,
that's what you were just talking about.
yeah, I'm
That's
sorry,
the
I jumped ahead.
90,000?
Yes.
Does that include maintenance, annual maintenance, or how's that gonna work?
Well, the county is doing maintenance now. I don't know whether if it can include a couple of years of maintenance.
I see a lot of times, government will put stuff out there, plans, trees.
It's gotta be
maintained. Turn it into crap.
No, well,
Maybe that's each budget, every annual budget, we got more maintenance.
keep in mind, I drive by it 4 times a day, so.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
All right.
Heaven forbid.
Any other questions or comments on the Gardener's Corner?
Gardens
Corner, that's my block.
Okay, is it listed as Gardens?
Garden Corner. Thank
No,
you.
it's listed as Gardeners, it's Gardens Corner
Gardens Corner, got it.
on the,
So
that
Chris,
needs to
Chris
be
made that
corrected.
mistake. Although it's probably me.
No, this thing.
It was probably
Chris,
me.
this thing on the back.
Yeah.
So I move that we spend $90,000 in the 2026 budget for the Gardens Corner intersection and US 17 planting, the flagpole and all that, and then also the finishing up Joe Frazier Circle.
Second.
Aye? Okay, Chris, you're up again now for litter support.
Okay, litter,
Oh, wait, got a question? Question?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Gene and I went in and met the county administrator, Michael
Moore?
Moore, right? And while we were having a discussion with him, we were just introducing ourselves and saying, we're hoping to start doing projects in the county, and we want to keep it. Nice guy. So we came to the conversation, I said to him, would it make sense for us to add to our budgets some money, $200,000, to bring in outside people to pick up the roads 5 or 6 times a year? We have to see how many of them. And essentially, they would go around all the major roads. You know, your road, all the roads. Keep the litter off the roads. So that was, and I've also had the discussion, that was recently, we would, and he is not against it. I mean, so we hire, and this is what College County does. In fact, we probably might use the same thing. So the county administrator said, by all means, please do it.
Please put it in the budget, right? And the council's gonna decide if they want us to do it or not, right? I mean, but if we don't ask for it, we certainly won't get it.
Okay, so that's,
Okay, I move that we request $200,000 for the outside litter pickup for our 2026 budget.
Second. All in favor?
Aye?
all in favor?
Okay, Chris,
Okay, the next one is,
The signs.
I proposed these replicas of rice fronts for Highway 17, which is the rice world. I showed everybody these replicas, I think, at one of the meetings I brought them in. I still think it's a great idea. So does members of this over in the office, main office, who he and I originally got this thought going. Nice people. Beaufort County. Anyway, we would have these things built and put up on, an area of Newmore's plantation, who would build it all the time. They build the real ones. They have built these little scaled down models to use these roads and everything. It would be so appropriate for out there in that world. So we would have one at the end of Highway 17 and in Beaufort County, right at the Columbia River. Then we would have one on the entrance into Beaufort County down at Pocatello. Okay?
What was the second one?
The second sign would go down at the intersection of 17A and 17, you see where the line is in Pocatello, Highway 17. If you were ever to drive up to Charleston, you go
Yeah,
right through
I got
this.
it.
There's two beautiful
Thank you.
spots to put these signs. I know if we need, it's complicated. People prefer styrofoam signs, particularly DOT, but we've got it worked out on both ends where I know both property owners.
Okay, so it is
We
on
need a little bit of
private
encroachment,
property?
we could get it, huh?
We're putting it on private property?
No, we're putting it on DOT property, but it has to be 30 feet away, structure like this.
30 feet from the street?
Yeah.
From the road. Is it from the center of the road or from the
I
edge?
think it's from the side of the road.
I would think so.
It's the
I
edge.
can't remember
Right,
what.
right of ways.
It seemed like,
I thought it was from the
I
edge.
think,
So
yeah.
is this what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Is that a rice trunk?
that's a rice truck.
I had no idea what a rice trunk was. That's what I had to look it up, so.
Yeah, if you go over
That's
to,
down.
Sorry. Thank you.
you can, they have one at the entrance to.
Got it.
I'm at a
Yeah.
deal.
Down to Dennis.
I'm at a deal.
Didn't slide.
I'm thinking of a steamer trunk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, at the entrance of Palmetto Bluff, they've got one there.
Oh, okay.
But it's a full size.
I have
Okay.
several of them on my place, because they're still functional.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they have them all
Okay.
over Beaufort County.
And
All
I
right,
have a question.
please.
A small plaque will be added next year. Why don't we just,
I didn't know what it would cost, I didn't know what the writing would be. We could do it this year if we could squeeze it in on that much money. My 20, that's a tight budget.
yeah,
Okay, so I thought we'd take, one, we might be able to get a historical marker, because they are historical. And that's another whole process. So I didn't want to, I was trying to keep the cost down.
So we have some inconsistencies with the cost.
Yes.
The front lines, Chris, is 23K. 23K, that's the right number?
That's two of them. yeah.
Okay, that's for two of them. This says 26K in your narrative,
26.
and then it says
Well,
21K in my
you know what, I
spreadsheet.
added your 10,000 in there. I thought we were doing all those on the same thing, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, all right, so let's just agree on, the sign is a good budget item, the two signs you're talking about is a good budget item, and 23,000,
That's correct.
okay.
What's the contingency for? Do we need to
Do we need a
approve
budget
that?
for that? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we need to budget that 3,000 in there. If we don't use it, we use it for the
Does that mess
signage.
you up?
326.
I gotta make a change, so doesn't matter what I change it
Put that
to.
3,000 in there, just
So 26,
Yeah.
yeah, 26.
okay.
Keep it at 26 and change it over
Yeah,
here
yep,
to
yep.
26 from
Yep.
21.
Okay, so we're voting on 26.
We're voting on 26.
Okay. So I move that we spend $26,000 for the two rice trunk signs and what all entails with that.
Second.
Aye?
Thank you.
Okay. Jessica, you're up.
All right, $30,000, just education and outreach, marketing materials, the buggy, continued use of the buggy, the water buggy, billboards, kind of all inclusive here, just 30K.
What have we got this year?
In the end, we'll probably end up spending
Probably,
20-something
yeah, in the 20.
in the
24.
20s when you include the billboards.
Yeah, 24-ish.
I'm in the low 20s.
Yeah.
And there's no way to, at the budget point, we don't need to have an excruciating detail of what's going to be done with it. They may ask for more, and we'll talk that through if we
Yeah.
ask, but
There are some details in the letter, you guys can read that, but I did kind of, put some of the stuff in there. Flyers, totes, banners, magnets, classroom kits, coloring books, events, tent signage, giveaways.
Okay, general idea, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I move that we spend request $30,000 for outreach and education for all the stuff that she's requested. FY '26, yeah.
Second.
Aye.
All approved.
All right, so we got about 8 minutes left. The next one is mine, whether it belongs in finance or not, doesn't matter, but that's where it is right now. So I'm proposing that each one of us goes to one conference a year. Now, Jean may not be able to go to one, but Brenda can go to two. So we're not trying to tie it to individuals, but we want enough funding to be able to send everyone.
Yeah.
My expenses were about $2,000 to go to DC. If you go to Myrtle Beach, it'll be less than that, but from a budgeting perspective, I'm putting in 2,500 times 11, as soon as we have a full board. Again, this is just a funding request. Any questions?
Okay. I move that we request $27,500 for the 2026 budget for the board members to attend conferences.
Second.
Aye. Okay, last one that we have to vote on is a admin line item. $5,000 is just miscellaneous stuff. That's
Yeah.
just $5,000 miscellaneous stuff. Whether it gets cut or not in the future, worry about that later, but just make sure we have something.
Okay. I move that we spend $5,000 for admin in the 2026 budget.
Second.
Aye?
All in favor?
Favor.
Okay, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so is this admin?
Yeah, that's, yes.
Okay, but what's under here is talking about wildflower and bulb plantings.
Did Chris change that one on the wrap?
I have.
I'll go check it.
I'm just saying,
Nope,
it's not admin
It's-
stuff.
yeah, it's-
So I was confused.
No,
That's
no,
why I was-
that's good. I'll get Sally the right one.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. So the new, on that spreadsheet in the back, it was 387. We're now adding 5 to that. It'll be 392. That'll be the budget request that goes in. Definitely, maybe tomorrow, or try tomorrow, but absolutely by Monday. Comments, questions?
Actually, this last year, do we have a thought on priorities? Because if we cut back on the surgery?
I think we don't need to do that today.
No, but just
We,
keep it back here.
I think we're gonna have multiple conversations, because the county will come back and say, you don't get $380,000.
You get 80.
You get 80, whatever, right? But we're asking for it, and I think it also shows that we're thinking hard,
Yeah.
and we're also not relying just on one person to come up with the ideas, right? And Jessica's gonna own all the education and outreach ideas executed by team members, but be responsible for that, just like Chris is chair for that, for beautification, et cetera. Okay, and that ends the budget and purchase request part of the meeting.
Thank you very much.
I know it was a lot of hard work. So well done.
Yeah.
And just remember, the requests are gonna go to finance, and the county council will vote on those, so you'll know, after that has all been finalized, it's the same process that we have to do for our budget requests.
Sure.
And then all of the items that, we move on to purchase today will need your signature, so we can go ahead and process those. And then I will need leads, whatever it is, however you got those quotes, I will need those as soon as possible, so we can procure these items. June 30th is when the fiscal year ends, but we need to procure and have everything paid for, prior to that, like,
Yep.
so.
Absolutely.
We set a date, I think we mid-June.
I think we said drop dead mid-June, because that's when they'll start closing the
Exactly,
books.
yeah, and it gives us time to
Yeah.
act, so just a reminder of that. So
Yep.
if you proposed to purchase something in fiscal year 25 today, just please get me links, details, what is exactly that you want, just so we can do for that.
I have signed every page already.
Okay,
So,
Except for the three.
except for
Three
the
ones
three that
that-
we're gonna add, so we're gonna make,
Yeah.
but I'll sign those before we go.
Sounds good. Wonderful, great job again.
Yep.
I won't take us too long. I already gave you all this report. This is a newsletter template. We used this for the solid waste board when we had not enough members to participate, but this is basically a breakdown of your funds. These are line items that you all agreed upon last meeting, and just a percentage of where you spent in each category. So it's gonna be anything new. I foresee a lot of that changing between now and the next time we meet. And then, as I already said, we did plant the wildflowers over in the corner. Have you gone by there, Mr. Campbell?
Yes, I have.
Are they
It's
sprung
great.
up? Have they
I hadn't
sprung up
noticed
and
that yet.
They hadn't
Okay.
sprung up when I
Well, I
went by.
planted some flowers in my house and I've got little buds.
I've got little ones.
Yeah, so they're probably still small, so. Anyway, that is going on. Valentina is doing a lot of great things with education and outreach. As you can see when you're driving here, Jesus is working really hard on the roadways with litter. So you can read all of the stuff that we already put together. If you do have any questions, just let us know now. Remember, our Earth Day event is April 25th.
Yep.
Also, Mr. Campbell will be at the air show this weekend.
Me too.
With our recycling
Gee.
tent.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won't be.
The,
can't.
well, I'd like to comment on the Earth Day is real important. All the employees are there and it's good. It looks good. We go in and say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
So we need shirts
We have
before that.
some Great employees.
So we do that maybe first.
April 24th.
Yeah, that's,
April 25th.
Keep that on your
Yeah,
calendar.
the ceremony will be around lunchtime, 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And then I do believe,
Oh, I know what's going on.
Mr. Campbell signed you guys up as a partner. I'm not sure, but I don't have all of that information.
I don't know.
But you can reach out to Valentina if you want any more information.
One more comment. Would you go back a slide, please? One more comment on the budget. Keep going. That one. That matches what we have tracked now. So in that spreadsheet in SharePoint, it's exactly the same. It's all the same. I asked that nobody touch that spreadsheet. Right? I haven't locked it yet, but I'm thinking of locking it and giving Chris, just because we can't afford to not be right on the numbers. Right? And we can't afford to wait for them. We have to know wait for Victoria and crew. We have to know in advance what we buy.
Would you be all
Your
right with?
information will be a lot more up to date than
Yeah.
the report that I pulled for you.
Yep. Yep.
So if I spent something today and I pulled the report, it's gonna say that it's not spent until
Right.
accounts payable says it's spent.
Yep.
And then somebody goes in and takes it out. So that's why we have the spreadsheet I showed you that we do with our budget tracker.
Yep.
And you have your own.
So I've added another tab to the workbook, which is the Excel workbook, and it has every single thing we're going to buy. So everything from, we talked about today, purchase recs, everything is already listed here. So when we buy something, we're going to say, okay, the purchase order's gone out. I'm not, and I'm not going to track you guys and what you do, but we can't overspend. And so
Right.
we're going to be able to have every single thing we buy. We'll keep control of that.
I would like, would it be sensible maybe if Sally could be, just you and Sally could get?
Can't just be me, it's got to be somebody on the board, but Sally and Victoria, we can all have access to it, sure. You just don't touch it.
Yeah,
Don't screw with it.
I can already tell you, don't touch it.
It's too hard. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yep. Okay,
Alrighty, well,
what
again,
else?
good job, all of you. What is this? Oh, Miss Sally, you can talk about this. This is her brilliant idea.
Well, I don't know how brilliant it is, but I am proposing, seeing if any of you are interested in coming back on another day. We'll do a little board member orientation on what's expected of a board member. And this would be something that we would start with a new member, like when somebody new is on, we would do this on a one-on-one with them, but I don't know that any of you have had it, so why not? What's expected of a board member? What's expected of each subcommittee? When do I meet? What do we discuss at our subcommittee meetings? The order of procedures for board meetings, which you guys seem like you had it down pretty good today. How to utilize the purchase request forms. What's in SharePoint? What's it all about? How do I get in? How do I get out? How do I upload things? Things of that nature. Just soup to nuts to where you've got a little bit more confidence in going in there or just being a better, more vibrant board member. So would that be something you all would be interested in?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll plan something after Earth Day.
So-
I'll send out a few dates to a few.
Send it, send
I'll
to all of
randomly-
us. Send to all of us?
Well, I don't want to send out several and then have two be ready to come one day and one another. And I'm gonna randomly pick a couple dates and a couple people and we'll
Yep.
come up with a date.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I'd like to propose that when we have new board members, your orientation includes someone on the board today. I mean, I'm happy to drive up if that's what needs to happen, but somebody on the board should be part of that orientation. So as you think about documenting that, that would be great to add it.
All right.
Okay, I have one more thing, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've requested, Victoria, last meeting 2 months ago, that we be given micro-purchase authority. Any status on that? It just, I'm dreaming?
I think that the same response that you received for your
Okay.
your question on if you can submit it Monday was the same response I received on.
No answer. Heck no.
I received
Yeah.
that same response that you did.
Okay, I got it. Okay, second question, kind of a two-part. I feel like we need board member emails, Microsoft Office emails with our names, but the board, but Beaufort County email addresses.
Oh, I don't think that you
It's okay, so I'd like to request it, if we could ask, it's cheap, it's not a question of money, it's a question of do you want to, or does the county want to?
It's just the fact that you're not
And then
county employee.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It
Some,
will go, I can tell you, I
Yeah.
guess
Some-
it's a liability.
Exactly.
some governments put a contractor after it or something like that, so if you'd ask the question, I'd be appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Secondly, associated with that, if we can't get email addresses for each one of us, do we have an email address for the board?
Yeah.
We have that already.
It's on
And-
your SharePoint page.
And that's the receiving end. How do we see those emails? So if this gentleman sends an email to the board, how do I see that email?
And you open up your email.
No.
No,
It
no.
doesn't come to me, it comes to the board.
Or
And I don't
Okay,
have
the
access to that.
board-
The one box.
Okay.
We
It's
don't
one box.
have, the board does not have a separate email.
Well, that's what we just asked.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'll
so
look into it.
would you,
We'll look at that
would you please?
off and have an answer for
Okay.
you. This is new.
So it's,
These are new questions that I
it's,
haven't had a chance to research.
okay, it's important because eventually we'll get business cards, and I don't want to use my Gmail address. It's kind of what it comes down to.
You want a hug?
I want a single email address that maybe you keep an eye on, Sally, and then when something comes into it, we get zero today. So it's not like you're going to get 500 emails next week.
Okay.
You keep an eye on it, or somebody from the county keeps an eye on it, and if it's relevant to an individual, relevant to all of us, just forward it to us. I know you can't automatically forward, you're not going to be allowed to do that in the county email system, but you can go in and read it and then decide.
Yeah, I'll just keep it working
Okay.
and see what other boards do.
Okay,
So
that'd be
the
good.
outside world can communicate.
Because right now, they can't communicate with us.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It is a good
Well, to a point.
thing. Be careful what you ask for, Gene.
And I hear you,
That's a good question.
yeah, but it is a good thing. It is a good thing. But, yeah, I hear you. Okay.
New business, I know we have.
Chris, did you have,
Chris, you had one?
you had a question or
I did, I have
comment?
one thing that I wanted to say. I gotta thank Jean, and I gotta thank Sally, and I got all this gang, Victoria, Jessica. Good God, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Because I've looked at it, and I mean, I don't understand this stuff.
Good work.
But these guys, man, my head. And you know what, next
Very
year's
welcome.
gonna be easy.
Or-
Not her.
It was a lot for this time, but, you know, protocols are in place.
Yep.
Do the budgeting, start early. But it's not stopping yet, remember.
We still have until end of June with
To
this
buy
money.
everything.
Now the work.
Now we have to actually buy it.
Yeah, and we'll have to really kind of be diligent.
Keep up with it.
But it's gonna be worth it. We'll use the future, keep very beautiful board.
So the committees with funding, you gotta spend your money.
Yeah.
Gotta spend your
One
money.
that shows we're gonna have to go local. It's like very, very close to.
Yeah,
Well, talk about that.
Okay, we have
Public comment?
public comments.
We anything you want to say?
I have the email situation that you're looking at. I'm president of an HOA. I get all of the emails to our CPOA Chesterfield address.
Yeah.
If it's important for the board, I forward it to everybody. If it's important to one or two, I sort it out and send it to them.
Perfect.
Otherwise, I deal with it, and I do it through Gmail,
Yep.
and it works pretty good. Just get some good virus protection along with what they have.
Excellent.
You got it.
What district are you from?
I'm not sure. I'm down in Chesterfield, right there at the end of Broad River Boulevard and Robert Smalls.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know where
it's
Chesterfield is.
6, I think
Would you
it's
like-
district.
Would you be interested in serving on our board?
I might be, yes. I'm kind of up to here right now, but
Well, we all are.
I want to go fishing, you know?
I do too, but
But, no, I'm here today because I happen to see that the county has now gone back to looking at this bag ban
Yes.
along with plastics and everything else.
we didn't have a chance to talk about it today.
Well, I was hoping you did, but it's okay. I got a good feel for where it came from and kind of where y'all's heads are at. I'll be at the next chat with the council meeting, and then I'll be at the next council meeting. I've probably put in 40, 50 hours in research into this whole thing, even sitting at garbage dumps, doing inventories of who comes in with what.
Well, hey, now we have a little individual, I don't mean to take up too much time here. We have a little individual group that kind of throw off about 3 or 4 different groups.
I was gonna email all of y'all some
No, no,
stuff
no,
when
no.
I do it with the council, but I got your
You
own.
come to one of those meetings,
Yeah, I can give
I'm
you,
sure
I
you would be welcome.
I can give you an update where that stands. So the county, thank you very much. The county sent out a survey.
I did it.
Excellent. And then we extended the date by a month.
Yes.
Because we didn't get enough. Several people in this team walked door to door, the company, to restaurants and businesses and said, please fill out the survey. We got 125 or so companies we physically went and talked to. The Natural Resource Council, is that right? Natural Resource?
Port Royal Conservancy.
No, up county organization. No, the Natural Resources Committee. So the Natural Resources Committee is a Beaufort County committee that the team working on this legislation gave an update to last week, right? Last week, early April. And that was a update on the survey. So where does it stand, et cetera, and basically where the team recommends we go. So it's
that
going to be a
online?
couple of months out. I'm sure the presentation is available because all of them are public.
Quite
Natural
frankly, I didn't know
Resources-
you folks even existed until I happened to read it in something.
Yep, Natural Resources
We're
Committee.
working on it all the time.
Natural resources.
So
Okay.
just out of curiosity.
Is this gentleman here, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your very prompt response in that information I requested from you. I'm telling you what, if all government officials worked like you, we'd have a
He's
great
outstanding,
day.
he is outstanding.
Everybody, the employees of this county are outstanding. I'm telling you, I know them all.
In my FOIA
Everybody
request
works
and
hard.
everything else,
Yeah.
they've all been very good.
What else? Is that it?
Brenda had a question.
Don't.
All right,
No,
well,
I think I wanted to ask you, just in person, this is a personal, not you as head of your HOA. What was your response to, do you mind sharing your response to the survey? Are you in favor of the things it proposed? Was there anything in particular that you would not support?
Let me say first that
You took
about
the time to
99.9% of the population has no idea what's going on with it. Okay? The business community may, in the service industry, which I happen to be a chef and do some service work in that field, in those types of products. So I'm buying and pricing it and dealing with it, and I deal with conservation groups and say, hey, why don't you have the recyclable stuff, you know? I have to deal with that myself. I'm a male, I'm not emotional, I'm pragmatic, I think through things logically, I look at it in a whole, not in a single microcosm of if I get rid of this plastic on the side of the road, what's gonna replace it, what's the total pollution and carbon print of that. I've been doing this since I was 13. I organized the first ecology coalition groups in my city. I won government awards from the governor. I pick up more trash than probably any human being in this county, just randomly moving about. I'm out in the tidal marshes, I'm along the waterfronts, I'm on the roadsides. And when I go down the road, I'm inventorying literally everything on the side of the roads and where it comes from. It's just where I've been trained. I noticed when y'all were spending that extra $5,000, nobody said, why don't we go to the garbage dump and hand out the flyer that says it's illegal to run a load in this county without a cover on it?
We are right now.
Yeah.
That is
There's
happening.
one sign when you go in, it's this big, and 35% of what comes in and out.
April is the no tolerance month. Jesus, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so we have currently right now, every day other than yesterday, because the centers were closed, we have our litter crew that's going out there handing out tarps to those pickup trucks, or if we see something that's sort of overflowing that shouldn't be secured, we'll go ahead and give them that information and the tarp on top of that.
That's 35% of the loads that go in and out of any one of them is uncovered.
We were, my husband's favorite thing is to go to the dump. I have
I get it, I get
Because
it.
I'm way back in the 3 microbrews.
I get that too.
It takes him an hour and a half to go to the dump. But the other day, we pulled in, and the attendant was handing out the trifold and the tarps and everything, and it was very, very, very nice. And that was the one in Bluffton. But the reason, and I don't want to just change the subject here real quick, but I know some people have to go. I live in Beaufort over in Bluffton, and our board did some research, and we had a couple of people that really pushed our general manager to come up with some figures. You say you're a chef, and you say you've got some in the industry, so as we looked at that questionnaire, we thought, okay, what's the financial impact going to be on businesses? And that's something that's going to be taken into consideration in this whole process. But Belfair, being a private community, will save $12,000 simply by taking out our styrofoam cups and going to a paper hot cup, no styrofoam carryouts. We're going to paper because people only got to drive around the corner to get home. And eliminating plastic, all the plastic cups that we've got. $12,000 a year in one community of 680 people, 80 houses.
They shop at different sources than I do then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I'm sure.
we did most of ours through Cisco, and we went to non-logo products, just straight.
So
Yeah, we
I
don't want
think,
to put people out of business.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think,
But you got, if you're gonna live in an environmentally conscious world, you have to be environmentally conscious.
I'm fully aware of that.
Condo
But
in New York City, that's a.
which has stricter recycling laws than we do.
Yeah.
My kids both live there. So closing thought for me, I know anyone else as well. We have, or will soon have, 3 seats available on the board. All right? Chris, you want to talk to the 2 that are leaving or have left?
Diane said in her resignation, but I haven't heard about Carol. I gotta go see.
Carol's going to resign as well.
Yeah, okay, I just got a text from Carol, because I said it earlier, she says, hanging in there, but she's in a hospice bed, and she
So who's the third one that's going on?
It's empty,
is empty.
it's just
There's
vacant.
a vacancy.
Yeah, so we're a board of 10 normally. Now we're 7. Well, we will be 7 as soon as Carol resigns. I presume that she's going to. Our quorum was dropped to 4, because we need to have more than half of those seats. But we want a full board. So 9 people.
We're in a full act,
Well,
We need 3, is what you're saying, ultimately.
yeah, we need
yeah,
3.
10 is the max. For some reason, one of the districts doesn't have one. I don't know why.
Okay, thank y'all very much.
Okay, thank you. Great. You need to stay for a little
Wait,
bit.
we gotta call, don't we have to adjourn, officially adjourn?
Oh, yeah, you can adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
Next meeting, April 10th, 1 o'clock, right here.
April 10?
April, May.
I mean,
May?
No,
June.
no, this is
June.
Oh, what's the meeting?
My fault.
Hold on, sorry, I was reading what the board
June
says.
12th. June 12th.
June 12th.
It's April, it's today. You missed
June
it.
12th.
I'm gonna be here.
June 12th.
I move that
And
we
please,
adjourn.
please, please, if you submitted a paper today saying you want to buy something at FY25, send me the information so we can buy it.
How does that work with like links, like an online?
Just send me the link, and if it doesn't come through as to what you're wanting to purchase, I'll ask you to
Perfect.
clarify.
Just
But
give
you
you the
should be able
details.
to link your cart unless you're logged into an actual account.
Got it. Perfect, thank you.
So I move we end the meeting,
A second.
adjourn, second?
Thank y'all very much.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you all. Have a good weekend.
Good
Thank you.
job.
Yeah, wonderful job.